Hello again and welcome back. Some time ago, I decided to make two large flower beds out of sheet metal, 3 millimeter thick, and it's 2 meter by 30 centimeter. So it's quite heavy and large. And since I don't have any metal bending or cutting tools, I had to come up with a good solution so I can shape all the sheet metal to the shape I wanted to, which means bending in several angles, not only 90 degrees, but also less or more. So I made a simple jig, and that's it's just sliders and two round rods and an angle grinder on it so that I can cut in right angle and well, repeatedly cut straight. I also made a quick foot pedal switch to be able to safely handle the angle grinder with my foot so that I don't have to reach out to the switch every time I want to switch it on or off. The way I do it is to mark 5 straight lines with 1 centimeter in between each, and I figure that this will give me a nice 90-degree angle, not sharp, and well, it will give me a nice bend. And the way I do it is that I cut about 1.5 millimeter deep grooves in the sheet metal along the lines I mark, and this I will bend along these grooves. About 1/2 of the sheet will be underground later on when I'm ready with the whole construction. And that part I will cut through completely. This is not necessary, but I figured that it's easier for me to bend it because to bend 3 millimeter using my muscles only is, I figured it's not so easy, at least not if you want to bend it nicely, which was my aim. So I cut through about half up, and as you can see in the background, I have already made several cuts, and it worked very well. Now I am almost at the end of the construction, but of course after this it will need to be buried also in the ground, and I also have to join the pieces together, which will be screw joints, so no welding. this solution of making this jig was a quick and dirty solution, but it turned out to be working very well for this purpose anyway. It may not give the 100% accuracy, but for this project it's more than enough. I just need to align the metal sheets so that the angle grinder bit is running along the lines and in parallel to each other and in right angle to the edge. Cutting these slots takes a while, but it's really quite fast anyway, so it works very well. So after a few minutes of struggling, all the grooves are cut, and I am ready for the next step, which is the bending. So now I cut the 5 grooves, and after the cut it looks like this, and I will bend the sheet along these edges, which will give me a nice rounded bend, not very sharp, but it will also look nicer than if it was a clear 90-degree bend. The way I do it is that I clamp this piece of wood. It's a quite heavy piece on one side, the longer one, not the one I will eventually bend, but the one which will stay on the ground. It is important that the piece of wood I am adjusting is aligned with the grooves, otherwise there is a risk for twisted bend or well, some other issues. So alignment generally is important if you want to make a nice bends, and if you want to follow any lines. I clamp it as hard as I can because to prevent the sheet from sliding and to keep the wooden pieces in place, because there is quite a big force needed to bend this, even though the grooves are 1.5 millimeter, about 1.5 millimeter deep. On the other side, where I will do the actual bending, I will clamp a narrower board because I feel like I have a better control over the bend this way, and also because half of the metal sheet is cut through already. So I will clamp it on the side which is not cut through, so that the greatest force is applied on that side. And then just simply pull it up a little bit and it starts to bend immediately because of the grooves. So it's actually pretty easy. And then when I just pulled up like this, I don't know what that is, 30 degrees or 25, I just move the board to the bottom side to complete the bend. This board doesn't have to be clamped as hard as the other one, because it doesn't really matter if it moves a little bit, but I clamp it anyway well enough to keep it straight, so that I don't get an extra bend where I don't want it. And then I just continue bending it until I have about the degree I want to, and then the last step will be the fine adjustment. I actually have to be careful not to push it too hard, because it's quite, with the grooves, it's not very difficult to bend it too much. And then, of course, it's a lot of extra work to adjust it and bend it back to the position I want to have it in. So that's it now. I am quite, when I am happy with the degree I have, then just removing the larger board also, and do the final check. In this case, I actually had to move the bottom board a little bit, because I felt like I need to make a small bend, extra bend, because the rounding was not as nice as I wanted. so it's just moving the board back a little bit, which gives me more space to make the bend better. But if I would have been happy, I could just remove the board. Now only a slight move is necessary before I am done. And it is a little bit overbent, so it's more than 90 degrees, but that's easy to adjust after removing all the boards. And in the end, it turns out to be very good. As you see, it's pretty even. I mean, I could measure it and adjust it for the final part also, but I don't think it's necessary for this project. And the bend angle is nice and rounded on the outside. The grooves will end up on the inside anyway, so it's okay. So another piece done. After this, I only have one more, and then I need to do all the cutting and to join the pieces together also. But I will not show that in this video because cutting in straight line is done the same way as I cut the grooves, just that I have to cut through all the way for the right size. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well.